What's up, Nitro Gang? This video is about this radio. Now, I don't always do videos about radios, but I figured this particular one is so interesting, it is so unique, it has so many cool features that I think it deserves its own video. This is the box it came in, right? I have currently the receiver, everything set up in my HPI Blitz. We will talk about this later. I know what you're asking yourself, what are all these extra wires over here? Why are there two huge antennas? This receiver that comes bundled in this, the R7FG, has two antennas. The reason is it has telemetry. And this thing will actually tell you when you are about to have signal loss. Not only does it have RSSI, it also has a live time telemetry readout on the damn voltage on your RC. So right now I have a jumper connected here that goes from the receiver to the battery. It's all included with this radio, and that will give me the live readout of the voltage of the onboard battery. I don't think there's really any other, radio under $100 that has this. This entire thing with the receiver, with the jumper, with obviously the box, $75 right now on Amazon. You cannot beat a deal that good. I was looking for a radio, and the reason is my HPI Savage, right guys? You remember this one. This is the one that I promised to hit 50 miles per hour on. Unfortunately, I only got 46 on this, but then I got lucky and somebody donated a 17-tooth clutch bell. I was about to put this on, do another 50 mile per hour speed run attempt on this Savage, and then of course, check this out. The original radio, complete failure. The knob itself fell off. There's no way for me to put this back on. And this exact radio, the TF20U, an HPI original, 2.4 gigahertz, but it's pretty much nothing special. It's like $80 on eBay used. Because HPI really doesn't have that good a part support, I cannot fix this. So I have to upgrade the radio in the Savage to do my 50 mile per hour speed run. Don't think I forgot about that. When I say this Savage is gonna hit 50, it's gonna hit 50. I don't care if I have to put it in my Prius and then hit 50 with it in my Prius. It's gonna hit 50 sooner or later. But for that, I need a good, reliable radio. And this right here, for $75, I mean the functionality, let me tell you right now, in terms of range, rated at 1,900 feet. That is 600 meters. That is basically further than you'd be able to see the RC. It's got two huge damn antennas. Now normally the antennas and receivers are like half this size. Here you got two of them. The way I have it routed is how they recommend you do it. It's basically like split down the RC here. You don't want to have it at like 90 degrees. You don't want to have it parallel to each other. You want to have them be separated as much as possible. This is just a temporary mounting. I'm actually planning on selling this RC, but I am using it for just testing of my own purposes for this video. And so far I've driven it. It has a built-in gyro, very easy to use. It was already binded when I took this thing out of the box, which is pretty surprising. And for a lot of beginners, just binding a 2.4 gigahertz system is kind of complicated. What's great is this radio, I was getting pissed at like all the AA's I'm running. Check out the radio I normally use. So normally I've been using these FlySky systems for like years. These are about $40. Watch this, I'll tell you the major advantage. Look at this. Look at this. You're about to get pissed, I know. There's whoa. Yeah, so this thing runs 8 AA's, and sometimes like they push themselves out, they come out, the system sometimes turns off. That's why I have a little napkin here kind of pressing down on the battery. So you don't want to have, a 50 mile per hour nitro, this Savage, which is extremely huge and heavy. You don't want to have a runaway on one of these things. You just don't want to have it. You want to have a good, reliable radio. Check this out when I open up the battery tray here. Oh, what is that? It's a freaking LiPo, guys. This is just a regular 2S LiPo from one of my cheap WL toys, nothing crazy. This thing already has the ability to run any LiPo, up to like I think a 4S. It says right here the voltage input. I'll read it off for you guys and I'll give you a picture. Voltage input 4.8 volts to 15 volts. You could pretty much run any single LiPo in here as long as you have a JST connector. pretty much a standard connector. Let me take it out for you guys. I'll show you. Yeah, this is a JST connector. Pretty much very basic, very standard. You could even solder them on yourself. So the reason I wanted this is the freaking LiPo. Now, sure, there are a lot of other radios that have the ability to run a LiPo battery, but this is just so easy. It runs. It has a live readout of the voltage. I'm going to show you in a little. Actually, yeah, why don't I just show you right now? I'm going to shut up. Okay, so this is the voltage of the radio itself. Guys, you could tell that I am at 8.4 volts. Now, I just charged this a while ago, actually, and I already ran about a pack through this RC right here, and I am still at full LiPo charge on this remote. It is incredible. Let me turn on this car, and I'll show you the damn telemetry system, or you know what they mean by telemetry. Okay, system is on, right? Here we go. Two-wheel drive, blah blah, doesn't matter. Check this out. The top voltage, 8.4 volts, is the voltage of the remote. The bottom one right there, 11.7 volts, that is the live voltage on the RC right now. This thing supports up to a 6S voltage input in terms of the telemetry on the car itself. That is freaking cool. You might be asking yourself, how does the remote know what the voltage on the car is? Well, there is a jumper here. The jumper is included, right? It goes straight from the battery. It has a little plus and minus cable here, and that goes into its own port on the receiver, which is right over here. Yeah, so you don't have to run this if you don't want to. Let's say you have a nitro car and you don't need the voltage input. Just get rid of this jumper and boom, there you go. But we are currently on the telemetry system. Now notice the screen is backlit. It is really nice. The screen's gonna go off in a little bit. It is reading minus about 20 decibels. Here is the receiver strength indicators. We are at very good signal strength. Under 30, I read in their instructions online, Radiolink has a very good website. You could also upgrade the firmware on this with just a basic, you know, USB cable. Very easy. You have the on-off switch here is on the side. Convenient because it's almost impossible to accidentally turn it on, unlike the other FlySky radios which have it here in the front. Sometimes I have like the radio in my trunk and the radio will just turn itself on. Okay, let's go back to the main display here. Right now we are looking at two vital factors. 11.7 volts, that is what the telemetry in the car is telling us the battery currently has. 8.4 volts on the top here, that is what the 2S LiPo in the radio has. Now notice when I accelerate, this is gonna drop. It's lifetime telemetry, right? You hear that? You see that? It drops. Okay, so I'm running a really bad battery, so my voltage drop was insane. Very quick response. I actually have the alarm. Let's see what I have the alarm on here. It is basically off. So if you press both of these, you go into the menu system here and you can go to alarm. I mostly just have it turned off because I'm running such a cheap battery that the alarm constantly goes on. So right now my external alarm is at 3. If you guys want to know, it's factory set to run a 3S LiPo. So let's see, if I go to 10 volts, you'll notice it'll start beeping. Okay, the transmitter is currently set for the alarm to go off at 6.8 volts. I would say that's about normal. Okay, right now we'll go back to the main menu. Observe this. When I accelerate, and you'll notice the voltage drop, it's gonna start beeping. Oh, you see that? Okay, it beeped and it said external power low. That's because the alarm on the radio actually works. Right now we're looking at all of the channels. We have a live readout of our functions on all the channels. So steering, right? If I steer, you could see that it moves. Channel 1, channel 2 is the throttle, right? Full throttle, full brake. Channel 3 is this knob. Channel 3. Channel 4 is this little switch. Goes on and off, right? You could use that for whatever. Then we have a couple toggle switches, you know, if you want to run like a winch or whatever. You have a whole bunch of functionality here. So 6 channels. You're never gonna run out of channels on this one. And honestly, the radio interface is not bad. It's basically a 4-button setup here. You know, if you want to go into the menu, you just hold both of them. And then you just go to whatever you want to go to. You know, 10 model memory, you have ABS, oh, and you have the gyro. Let me show you the gyro, guys, because for this kind of money, I mean, you really can't beat it, and it's very easy to set up. Let's turn the gyro on. It is very easy. There is a button all the way on the side of the receiver. All you gotta do is just get something thin in there, stick it in, and it will turn on. You gotta press it 3 times quickly, and you'll notice the LED will start flashing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So right now the gyro should be active. Observe this, guys. As I move the car, right? The wheels are now steering. This is kind of like the ABC or the TSM if you have Traxxas. I'm not steering this right now. This is literally the gyro of the car. Yeah, it is nice. You could easily just turn it off. Same way, press it 3 times and the gyro goes off. Look at that. Where are you gonna get this kind of functionality that's so easy to use and actually works for 75 bucks? It is honestly really hard to find. Let me turn it off now. 1, no, I didn't press it yet. 1, 2, 3. There we go, flashes, gyro's off. Okay guys, we're gonna do a live test. I am at 8.3 on the transmitter voltage, 11.7 on the RC voltage. Now, the autofocus might not be that great here because, you know, I have the RC car right over there in front and I have the remote here. We are gonna be looking at the telemetry on this remote. So RSSI, we are at -42 signal strength. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna try to go all the way down this field. Man, this is hard to drive with one hand, guys. Yeah, so as I drive further away, we could see that it is getting slightly worse. I'm pretty far away right now. I actually don't even really ever go this far. Sorry guys, you can't see how far away I actually am, but trust me, this is like all the way down towards the end of the field. I can barely see the RC now, and yet our signal strength is still pretty good. As long as it doesn't hit 100, we are okay from what I understand. I am going to return now because I can barely even see the RC now. As I get closer, notice that the signal strength gets better, which is exactly what you would expect. Closer to 0 is what you want to see. Okay, the car is back. I had absolutely 0 signal loss. I'm literally driving the distance that the RC just covered. Just look at how big this parking lot actually is. I mean, on video it's hard to tell, but yeah, I am literally driving, doing almost 20 miles an hour in this parking lot. Actually, no, let me say 10. You don't want no coppers to watch this and then, you know, get me later. I don't know what the speed limits on parking lots are. Yeah, I was almost all the way down here at the end of this lot. That's some signal strength for you, baby. Dual twin antennas, right? Not just regular antennas, we're talking huge antennas. During this run, you can now tell my battery in the RC is drained. We are at 10.9 or so volts, and yet the small 2S LiPo, we are still nearly fully charged all the way, 8.3 volts. I started this with 8.4, and that was like the tiniest little LiPo that you could possibly get. This is one of my favorite things. Never again am I gonna be buying, you know, 8 AA's to put into my remote and then have it be super heavy. This is nice, it's comfortable, it's light. The steering wheel has, you know, a nice piece of foam on it. It looks cool. It's got gyros, it's got telemetry, it's got RSSI. Man, this thing is freaking state of the art. It's cool, I like it. This is like the Superman of the remote world, I would say. I mean, you know, in terms of budget remotes that are actually not Futaba. So yeah, pretty much great job. I'm very happy with this remote. I'm gonna buy a couple of these receivers that I have in the car, and I'm probably gonna be making this standard across my entire range of remotes and receivers. Thanks so much for watching, Nitro Gang. Get one of these, see you later. FedEx just delivered my boat. I am happy, guys. Check it out. Thank you, FedEx. Let's go unbox this.